I think in that way, when you're looking at works from other cultures and from other peoples, you get an idea of how they see the world as well. And so when I'm thinking of art introducing us to other worlds and into ourselves, when we're looking at this art, we're seeing the worlds of others, but we're also seeing perhaps our own blind spots, our own biases, our own ways of thinking about other people.
The CORE stands for the Center for Object Research and Engagement, and it's the MSU Broad Art Museum's new space dedicated to our collection. The CORE is the collection of everything that we do. It's always growing to welcome new perspectives, and that includes not only acquiring new works of art, but also welcoming new students, faculty, and community members to tell us their thoughts about works in the collection. We reached out to the graduate school at MSU and asked them for support in the form of a Seek Fellow to have someone assist us with the CORE, and we had a very competitive application process, and in the end we chose Jada Similton, who's a PhD student in English, who researches Black and Indigenous futurisms and literatures.
I actually read the call and thought that none of the calls fit me or sounded like me, and then I got to the one about the CORE, and it said that it was looking for a way to think more diversely about art narratives. And I said, well, this actually sounds like me.
What really stood out for me was the depth and range of her research and the ways that it responded to a lot of the things in our collection, but also the way that the knowledge that she was going to bring to the project was very different than any of the other expertise that we had on staff. One of the really unique things about the CORE is the way that we're trying to display art history, and it very much echoes the research that Jada is doing with Black and Indigenous futurisms. We are not presenting an art history that moves in a linear fashion, much in the same way that futurisms are questioning kind of concepts of time.
So if you know anything about Afrofuturism and Indigenous futurism, they're projects that are very interested in recovery. Is very interested in telling these stories and these narratives that other people are not thinking about or that have been silenced by archives and other institutions. And so I approached this project with a very particular interest in recovering these narratives and offering counter narratives as well about how we can think about art from a Black and Indigenous perspective.
Jada brought a lot of ideas to the table that I wouldn't have thought of, and one of my favorite things to do was to say, okay, yes, keep going.
It was important for me because I wanted people who looked like me to come in this space and feel like they are seeing themselves, or that they are, when they're reading labels, they're seeing conversations about issues that they also find important. Because I know that I've gone into spaces and I'm looking at a work and I'll say, so much more could have been said about this piece. So much more could have been pulled out. And so I really wanted to point to that so much more so that people who are looking for this other side of the conversation could find it. When I was applying to this position, one of the things that I was saying was that art is culturally situated. And so I knew that if there was going to be a diverse collection of works here, I wanted to illuminate that cultural situation. I wanted to illuminate the cultural context of work. And coming in here, I think as a first generation college student, as a working class student, was like a moment where I really felt like all of the people before me who did not have this opportunity could see themselves here.